Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whenever you are. Welcome to another community live stream. This is February 12th. Wow, time is just going by very, very quickly. My name is Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow. I am in the marketing team. I've been a developer for a long time. Been using ServiceNow for about 10 years, 2 as a customer, 8 as an employee in professional services, solution consulting, all over the place. It's been a rocket ride and a lot of fun. I am just going to check really quickly to make sure that our feed is up and we are getting things. If you would like, join me. Let me just put up a quick intro. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's great. Get the announcement when this show is out and lots of other content. I do post on an almost daily basis to Twitter and LinkedIn for that information. Just a little sidebar there. If you want to wave your hand and say hi, subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be great. Love to see who is out there, where you're watching from, try to figure out what time it is for you, and give you a shout out if we can. It's a great community. ServiceNow has probably one of the best communities I have ever encountered on the internet as far as friendly people willing to help, get your answers. Lots of people. Wow, it's incredible. This is very rare that we have this level of commitment. Also doing this on Twitch. If you are watching over there, thank you very much. It's good to see you. Let me see if we've had had a few more views on Twitch. They keep the videos around for a couple of weeks, whereas YouTube keeps them around for eternity. And I appreciate the watching on Twitch. Once in a while, we get a chat in there as well. Get this interaction going both ways. Also ask if you have let's get the right subtitle up there. If you have a question regarding to anything that I'm talking about today, or you've got a new question or issue you'd like to talk about, please go over to the community at community.servicenow.com and post it there. If you ask it in YouTube, I'm likely not to answer it because it's not going to be found. The whole point of the community is so that others can learn and share and grow. I've got comments coming back from things that are years and years old simply because they do a search. They say, hey, I've got that problem too, or I tried that and it's not working. It's been several upgrades later, and we want to find out what's going on and help that way. If we do that in YouTube, it's probably not going to happen. Someone's going to say, hey, go to time mark 52 minutes and 58 seconds where Chuck talks about XYZ. The whole point of this, however, let me turn that off for just a sec. The whole point of this is to not only provide you with the answers to your questions in the community, but also find out how I got to those answers. Find out what the thought process is behind that. Sometimes the answer is no, or you might want to consider this, or dig deeper for more information. That's what's going on up here before I put it up there. And I want to get that process across. So there's a value add in watching these videos, I hope, for you, if not from an educational, possibly entertaining standpoint there. I also want to remind you that Knowledge 17 is coming up. A couple of announcements regarding that. The CreatorCon Challenge, which I should put back up here before I get back to my knowledge thing. CreatorCon Challenge is still open until February 15th. So if you have an idea for an application based on ServiceNow and you want to start your business, this is a great way to do it. Go to go to developer.servicenow.com and watch the banner. It'll scroll by, and I think it's the third banner says CreatorCon Challenge closing soon. So if you haven't submitted and you want to get your idea in there, go over to developer.servicenow.com, click the CreatorCon Challenge, and enter the challenge on that big blue button. Where is that? That's over at developer.servicenow.com, as I mentioned, which also has, see if I can get this, not with the keyboard, documentation to our scripting APIs, and you can get yourself a free, hold on. Ooh, almost sneezed. It's probably going to come out later. Ah, nasty sneeze. It's going to be an interesting show today. I walked into the studio a few minutes early and realized the mouse was dead. And it's one of those mice where you can't change the batteries. It's got to be charged. So I gave it about 15-20 minutes charge, and it's got a little bit of charge. It's Monday, and if Friday was any indication and the rest of the weekend was any indication, the technical gremlins are still roaming about my house. It's not it's going to be interesting today for sure. All right, let's kill the animation that's happening in the background. Go over to developer.servicenow.com and get yourself a free personal developer instance. It will look something like this. And back to my thing about knowledge. Turn that off. Get the knowledge thing going. At least I'm hitting the right keyboard today. That was plaguing me on Friday. May 7th through 10th in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel. Look forward to seeing you there. Lots and lots of good stuff. Hands-on labs, speaker sessions by customers, keynote sessions, big parties. It's all over the place. CreatorCon is happening again. There will be a developer hub and the developer theater. Dave Slusher, Craig Stepp, and I, the trio from TechNow, will be doing 3 live sessions on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday around building an application. I've got an IoT lab that I'm working on. It's insane how much work goes into this. It's a lot of fun. We are reviewing these speaker sessions for CreatorCon and Knowledge as we speak. It happens this week. So look forward to seeing you there. Hopefully, if you submitted, the speaker session was reviewed and accepted, and we will see you there. If not, I look forward to seeing you there anyway. I thought there was one more thing I needed to say about Knowledge, but if it comes up to me later, I will bring it up. Don't forget about the CreatorCon thing, too. Get entered. Okay, enough about the commercials. Let's go into the community. This is where the unpredictable part comes. I don't know what's in the community already. I did clean out my inbox a little bit just so we don't have to look at a bunch of messages from Friday, things where people just like it. I like the likes, and I like the community connections. I've got my trusty cup of tea so that I don't get a sore throat early in the morning. Let's do a quick refresh on all unanswered questions and see where we go from here. Report in 10 minutes before an SLA breaches. Maybe. Question is, how do you know when it's 10 minutes before? I have a group called First Line Support, and I am looking to create a few reports to display on a dashboard in order to help the group to manage their calls. I'm looking to create a report which displays any calls in which is going to breach in the next 10 minutes. This will allow us to see the report and target the calls so they do not breach. I have tried to produce this, but nothing seems to work. So service level agreements. Let's go into the Kingston documentation. Nice big button over here on the left. I think I tried to drag that image somewhere. Try clicking again. Gonna be one of those mornings I can't click. Service level agreement. Service level agreements have conditions when to start, condition when to stop, and if I remember right, let me look at some demo data here. I'm going to log into my personal developer instance real quick. And see, I thought there was a warning about to breach. Let's find out. Task SLA.list. Type the table name .list up there in the corner. There's your first tip of the day, in case you didn't know. We have in progress, canceled, paused, in progress, breached. So they want to know if the business time left or the business, yeah, if that's 10 days, 10 minutes, this shows seconds, minutes, hours. Could you do it from here with just a simple list? First trick is, can you do a list? Let's do business time left is less than 10 minutes. Run. Okay, that's 0 seconds. And not breached? We probably want to say not breached. No, those are all in progress. Okay. And stage is in progress. That ought to do it. I mean, that's the core of their report, right? Oh, is my screen capture not working yet? Yes, it is. Okay, there's the crosshairs. Just being very slow. It wasn't working Friday. Another one of those wonderful things. Hi, Chris. I just went to task SLA list to see if I could mock this up. And found this might get you where you need to go. Create a simple list report with the following conditions. Let me know. I am not the world's expert on reports. I'll give you that. My specialty is in custom applications and integrations. I am all about the platform. Fortunately, that covers a wide area of topics. How to get the HTML name of a PA dashboard tab. Why? Why? What's the use case here? I'm moving update set with dashboard having 4 tabs from dev to test. I know that dashboard tabs are not automatically transferred in update sets. You must manually add the dashboard tab content to the update set. Following the steps from the wiki, I am not able to find the HTML name of the performance analytic. I think you export the entire dashboard. Let's look. I don't think you do it tab by tab. Dashboard, self-service, orchestration, performance analytics, dashboards. This looks different in Kingston. Owned by me. Dashboard administration. That's what I was looking for. And show latest update. View dashboard. Menu. Unload dashboard. That's what I'm looking for. Dashboards are transferred. They must be based on the same technology. Much like home pages. You don't do these tab by tab. You unload the entire dashboard at once. Go to Performance Analytics, Dashboard Administration. 2 reporting questions in one. Heck of a morning. Open the record for your dashboard and use the form menu option. Unload dashboard. See below. Gotta wonder if there's some legacy code somebody built something on. Okay, see how that goes. Keep an eye on the inbox. We'll get back to that in just a sec. I want to get some new conversations up and running. It is 1:15. Thank you for joining me on the live community stream today for February 12th, 2018. If you've got a question, ask it in the community. If you just want to say hi, throw that in the comments of Twitch or YouTube. Love to find out where people are. If you're watching this later, and you're not watching it live, well, there's always the community. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see what else we have. How to exclude weekends and holidays in reports. I saw the mention in my inbox on that. I'm not sure I'm up for 3 reporting things at once. Ajax table completer not working in catalog variable. Application, I might take a look at that one. Open that in a new tab. Application name showing with created date. Take a look at that. Approver user role. Suggested filtered reference values in autocompleter, but keep the all option available. Not sure what that means. Let's see what we can find. transform map issue in performance analytics and reporting. Analog's got that, but I'm going to take a look anyway. Filtering incidents by tags via API. Ooh, that's interesting. Take a look. How to set value through ACL. I'll answer that right before we start it up. Time spent call, setting variables, read only from client script. That's good stuff. Change request, update field value, a couple responses there. All right, that'll keep me busy for a while. Plus anything new that comes in. This is going to be a mashup of jumping around. By the time I get to some of these, they'll have answers on them. And by the time, and then occasionally checking the inbox. That's, if you've watched this before, you know that's kind of how I work on this stuff. Multiple things going at once. I'll usually do this for about an hour. Hopefully that's enough time to absorb what's going on. There are some conversations that have been happening over the last few days. We'll see what happens there. Ajax table completer not working in catalog variable. I wanted to show some additional columns in a catalog variable attribute, but the desired columns are not showing up. Looking for, are these columns additional variables? Vendor number, vendor name. Hi, Ram. Are you vendor name? Vendor name and vendor number. And you vendor number. Catalog variables. Or table field value, table field names. As far as I know, the autocompleter works on field names only, not variables. This is where it's always interesting to see if somebody comes up with a solution that I hadn't thought of. That happens quite frequently. That's how we learn. Learn and share and grow. Or is it learn and share and help? Learn, help, and share. That's what it says on the opening screen. I should remember to read that once in a while. Application name showing on with created date. I'm facing issue when I am developing one catalog item. Issue when I click the magnifying glass for please provide the application that should be changed. It is showing a list of applications. However, when I select any application name, it is showing created date instead of application name. Did you check the display value? That's for a variable. It just doesn't have a display value set to true. Yeah. Go to the table. You provide details in here? Yeah, license has app. License has app. And check which field has the display field set to true. This is what tells the system to show something in the reference field that points to that table. We did this on TechNow. Where was it? 43, 42, 41, somewhere in there. It was a while ago. Feels like a long time ago. Let me look. It was either this last winter or fall. Best practices with reference fields. Something tells me that's not it. Maybe it was. Display values on reference fields. 39. Okay, check out. Check out episode 39. See, I don't have all of these numbers memorized. A few that come up over and over again. Check out episode 39 of TechNow. I did this very thing on the quick tip near the beginning of the video. Okay. Good morning, good morning. Could you please more elaborate as I do, license.do, and I see a list of application names. All right, we got multiple people helping out on that one. Should get to a resolution fairly quickly. That's the important part. Hi, everyone. Could someone please help me understand roles? Should I assign an approver user role to approve request item or change request via service portal? Because at the moment, users without a license may approve or reject a request via service portal, as you can see below. Okay. So if they can, why would you need a role? Also, I can do nothing with this process in Approve Engines module. Anyway, I'm not quite understanding. Let me refresh this screen, see if anybody's replied to this yet. What is the issue? Hi, Adina. I'm not sure I understand the issue. What is the problem you are having? It looks like someone sees a list of their approvals. They open a record, see some details, and can push one of the two buttons. What is your expected result? And how does it differ from this? Okay. Thank you for joining me on the live stream today. Whole lot of fun. We never know what we're gonna get. All right, we've got a response to one of these things. Robert says, reporting 10 minutes of SLA breaches. Robert is a very good resource for this kind of stuff. 10 minutes is a pretty small interval to manage. There's a neato solution in ServiceNow for that, but I have to know up front if you have performance analytics. See that heartbeat? It means the report will update in real time. Pair that with Chuck's solution, and you should be okay. Problem with just doing the report is you don't know when the last time the report refreshed was. That's right. I like it. Not necessarily. This V3 in Kingston has live list updates. Where's Jakarta? List V3 in Jakarta introduced live list updates. Okay, how to exclude weekends and holidays. I'm going to get back to that one in just a little bit. I need some time to process that one in my head. Let's see if anything new has come in. I like the new stuff. Answering the QA verification are read-only during the enrollment in the password reset. How can have field editable? I have not done password reset in a very, very long time. Not sure I'm the right person to tackle that one. Meanwhile, go back into my queue, go do a quick refresh, see if this one's got any responses to it. Simon Bachman says, suggest filtered reference values in autocompleter, but keep the all option available. Dear community, let's see, has anybody responded? Not yet. Then let's read on. Sorry about the scrolling. Hope nobody got seasick on that one. I get to you once more with a strange need. I need a reference field which should primarily present records with a dependency to the action chosen company record in the auto-completion list. But anyway, while clicking the magnifying glass, the user should still be able to choose every record without any dependency to the company record. Okay, so netcloud, 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 netcloud. The pixeled line at the bottom is a different company and should not be available in the auto-completion list. But when clicking in the magnifying glass there, it must appear. Anyone got an idea? I think it will need to use some sort of client script in combination with HTML CSS manipulation. Okay, here comes my standard answer. Hi, Simon. Well, it seems to be very common lately. The magnifying glass is going to use whatever dependencies the autocomplete uses. There's no way that I know of to separate that functionality between, hey, you're typing, and, oh look, the magnifying glass was clicked. Because that's the way computers talk internally, you know. That being said, what would be the point of one having a filter and one not? Seems like anyone could just click the magnifying glass and get anything they want. Click the magnifying glass, given you could do what you want and get any record they want, regardless of the filtering. Why not just have all records display all the time if you don't really need a filter? All right. I recommend going back to the person making this requirement and let them know the following. Number one, this isn't available out of the box. Number two, it requires customization. If we could figure out a way to do it, which we currently can't. If we could figure out a way to do it, that customization requires time and money to develop, test, maintain, and upgrade going forward. There could be performance issues. Not saying there are, not saying there aren't, but there could be. Could be performance issues with the customization. Excuse me. There are risks. Are you willing to accept them, given we can find a solution for this? Or should we stick with what's available out of box? Okay. That is, keep these in mind. You did diligence by asking on the community. That's a great repository of knowledge. Now that you know it's not available out of the box, you got to go back to these people and say, hey, look, I don't know of a way. If we do find a way, is it worth it? Because we get a lot of customers these days are saying, gee whiz, I wish we hadn't over-customized. Great thing about ServiceNow is you can do anything. The dangerous thing about ServiceNow is you can do anything. And a lot of customers find that out. Now, it's not to say that customization is inherently bad. There are good practices to follow that will make your upgrades much easier going forward. But if you apply DOM manipulation and start tweaking the forms, then you're in dangerous territory. I'm trying to import a list of PCs into ALM hardware. When I run the transform map, some fields do not transfer across, such as warranty expiration. It is set as a matching field on the source and target table, though. Are you seeing any errors in the logs? Good question. Also, if a field is not showing in the target table on the transform map, how can I create it? I'm going to leave that one with Analog. Back to the main index, see what's new. Good morning from rainy Delaware. Hi, Carolyn. Nice to know that it's not snowing in Delaware. Hope it's at least relatively warm. Hey, Chuck, morning. Is the site serviceportal.io decommissioned? You know what? Good question. I thought it moved. It used to point to a GitHub repo. I thought there was a message on the screen that said, no, serviceportal.io. I'm thinking of something different. I'm thinking of the GitHub repo for the docs, and the docs have been integrated somewhere else. Serviceportal.io is Nathan's Nathan's new rocket site. That's his company. Looks like it's working to me. So give it a check, Nathan, and let me know. It shouldn't be dead to the world. Looks like it just came up for me. I'm going to close a couple of these extra tabs just so I can see where in heaven's name I'm going. Filtering incidents by tag via API. Let's take a look. Refresh that, see if anybody's answered at this point. The answer is, follow the article might be helpful. Difference between U tags and sys tags. I get a feeling you might be requiring a scripted REST API or you need to directly base the filter. Now table sysparm limit, da la 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 la. Okay. Oh, excuse me. But for some reason, I don't see, oh, I didn't read the first part. I want to get incidents by using, for example, table API and then filter them by tags. For example, I've assigned these two tags and FFFFF, but I don't see these tags in the response. There's a property systags, but it's always empty. Okay, so let's look at incident.list, one of my favorite tables. I am going to personalize the list view so I can put some tags on these things. Where experimentation comes in real fun. Let's take these two off. I was doing something for somebody once upon a time. Down here is tags. Incident becomes a bit messy over time on my personal developer instance because it seems like every time somebody has a question, that's where I go and the table and the form get really jacked up. Tags. Edit this. Edit tags. Oh, for fun, let's just put on Android and JavaScript. Done. I'm kind of digging that UI. I haven't seen that in a while. I changed this. That one we'll put development and Android. And let's make a filter. Or tags. Has, what are my options in here? Has Android. Okay, run. And we will see if the query holds up. I want to take this and then send it to the REST API Explorer. So tag says Android, copy query, go to the REST API Explorer, which is right here, because this is what they wanted to do, is do this by a REST query. At least it looked like it because they referenced the table API. I'm going to get from the incident table. Waiting for the table to show up. Why didn't the table show up? No matches found. I'm doing a get record. Come on. There we go. Incident. Good morning to you watching the live stream. Sysparm query. I'm going to put that in there. And it says sys.tags dot blah 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 blah. Okay. That doesn't seem right, but let's find out. Send. And do we get our 2 records? Total count was 2. And in the response body, do we have anything about tags? No. Okay. All right. Well, you can do this. I don't think tags is going to... I want to see that other record. Difference between UTags and systags. I am able to create a query which returns the right records based on tags. E.g., putting this in the sysparm query field of the REST API Explorer. The systags field remains empty. There wasn't another tags field. Did I just get a little too rambunctious and leave early? Check this, check this. There's one. Nope, that's it. Nothing special in there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, that's those. Okay, just looking at the browser, scrolling with the little tag ticks on the side. Not sure what that's all about. Now, quick read of this. Systags and sysutags. Let's see. We go to the top. What is the difference between UTags and systags? How do I tag a record with UTag? Are you referring to the prefixes U underscore and sys underscore that appear in field names? There was a correct answer in here. Yes, no, or was it just very helpful? It was helpful. So this is assumed answered. Made a little progress after posting the previous stuff. Label entry, label systag sysid. Based on that is a completely untested option. Add tag to incident, add tag to incident. Goes into the label entry table. Okay. I suspect it's not being presented because someone forgot to put it in there, because it comes from a different table. Sort of like a reference field / list field. Perhaps a bug. Suffice it to say, you can filter on a tag using the REST API table API. Let's get rid of that first one. Makes more sense. Okay. Next. That was fun. That was educational. Learned a little bit more. 10 minutes, I get to go home now? 20 minutes to the top of the hour, at least in my time zone. If you're in the middle of India, then it's 10 minutes past the hour. Insert multiple function is not showing. Help needed. Sharing dashboard and how to get changed value from SP date picker directive. Group members have the create new service ticket option in ServiceNow. Start up here. This looks more like a platformy thing. Dear community, I've activated insert multiple web service plugin. However, it is not showing in SOAP available function list. System plugin has been activated. SOAP message functions. Have you checked the WSDL? I'm not familiar with that plugin, but I always trust the WSDL. I am not familiar with that plugin. Have you checked the WSDL to see if it's included? The WSDL is the web service definition library used in SOAP. You send out a message and it comes back and says, hey, here's what you're allowed to do with that. For example, if I were to take my URL, it's going to be a little tough to see up here. When I said incident.do WSDL, I will get the WSDL for that table. And it says, here are the things, here's the schema, all the fields that are available. And down here, get records. You can see there's various function names in here. Get records response, update, and I'm going to take a quick screenshot of that just to say, hey, look in this neighborhood. Example, https yourinstance.servicenow.com incident.do WSDL shows that. Note the update. See if you have the insert. Was it insert multiple? Import multiple? What the hell was it? I can't remember. Insert multiple. Insert multiple. It's early here. Somewhere in the WSDL. If so, delete the functions and refresh them from the WSDL. I don't think it's going to do it automatically. Just turning on the plugin doesn't update all of your existing WSDLs. You do need to refresh. That's part of one of the things about REST I like over SOAP. Okay, Tom Brody. First, let's check and see. It's been a while since I brought this up. Let's see if there's any responses in here yet. Hi all. We have an SC rec item catalog client script that manages access to variables for the CMS user. It manages whether fields are read-only through variable attributes, allowing us to set read-only depending on the user's role, task state, etc. I'm now trying to set up the SC rec item on Service Portal using the form widget which shows the fields, variable editor, and ticket conversation. But the client script isn't working on Service Portal. After investigating, I've determined that variables aren't being populated in the gform object, so this doesn't do anything. gform set read only. Only the form fields are being populated into gform. Whew. My head is hurting already. Are you saying that your code is working for native and not working for Service Portal? Have unload catalog client script and the following code to check. Also, did you check to make sure the fields are read-only? Did you check to make sure that the client script works in both mobile and... That's the other common mistake is, let me go back, find the client scripts, do a quick screenshot of this. Client script, when you are using Service Portal, and you've been using, and you've been using a slow computer, client script, there we go, catalog client scripts. Been using them, you probably don't recognize this at first. There is a UI type, and I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this. I believe in Helsinki it said both, and then Istanbul and beyond it says all. Reply. Hi Tim. Be sure your client script is set to run on UI type all. May be working in standard UI and CMS under desktop, but to run in Service Portal, it needs mobile capability. Mobile capability 2 also. There we go. Don't know what's the right answer, but trying to help. Looking for some good resources to understand the internals of CSM. You know what? That's a very good question. I am not a CSM expert, but let me check. I thought we had something on our ServiceNow.com site. Let's look together. Loading, 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 loading. Products? No. Service and support. Training. Do we have a CSM course? Find a course. Search CSM. Not to be confused with CMS. Master the setup, configuration, and usage of ServiceNow CSM application. There you go. We have a course on that. We have expanded our course offerings dramatically in the last year. Tough for me to even keep up. So that'd be my recommendation. 2-day course. Looks like it's available. Doesn't say whether it's available virtual, in person, both. Don't know. Upcoming classes, who should attend, prerequisites. ServiceNow system administration is preferred, so you can understand how to set up users and make records and whatnot. Does not offer certification, class schedule, how to attend. There's a course schedule, on and on. Hooray! Freebie. I know, I said I wouldn't answer anything in the chat. Ooh, some stuff piling up in the mailbox. Let's go check this out. Application notice showing with created date. Srinivas responded back. Once you have a list of application name, right click on the configuration dictionary, open dictionary, subscription, display equals true. Yay. Anyway, thanks for that help to make changes. This item is read-only based on its protection policy. We can't set the display. On the subscription application display value is read-only. Something else may be. Okay, report in 10 minutes. Robert. I don't know why that first one went back to unread. Sometimes it's community software. But it also lost the ability to add rows Excel style. One of my favorite list view features. I am also of the opinion that a report of this type is better suited for scoring on the dashboard to see the list. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. I agree with your single score record idea. Great idea. I don't know that you need performance analytics to do a single score report, though. Be a premium, actually. I've done single score reports on a demo instance without PA Premium installed. I'm not going to get into a religious war about V2 versus V3 on the list. There's something new in here that I should know about? No. So why was it marked unread after I already read it? Okay. How to get the HTML name of PA dashboard. Found this helpful. In my dashboard, after show latest update, the unload dashboard option is not listed. Interesting. Do you have admin access? Homepage admin may be available as well. I didn't enable anything special to get that. Shaikh, how to exclude weekends and holidays and reports. Okay, I said I'd be getting back to this one. I'm going to take a look at it. Hello, C. Tomasi. So remember, this isn't just my community. I appreciate the mention. Doing an at mention of me doesn't necessarily guarantee I know the answer. I created a report where I need to pull all the tickets which are not updated since the last 2 days, for which I use the condition as active as true and updated before yesterday, which is working fine. But when it's a weekend, say like today is Sunday, it is? That was 4 minutes ago. Maybe it's still Sunday somewhere. No, it's not. Anyway, It is pulling before yesterday, which means tickets are not updated since last Friday, but not Wednesday. I need to set a schedule report to where manager should receive the tickets which are not updated since last 2 days. Please help me how to achieve this. You're not going to get that out of the updated field, though. You're going to have to build and maintain your own field as to how many days it's been since the last update. Okay, short answer is you're not going to get this from the updated field. That's a straight update and is checking calendar values against that field value to get a numerical difference. Numerical difference. My first thought is to create your own diff field and maintain that yourself. If the update was, let's see, run a scheduled job daily, perhaps hourly, to find records that were not updated in the last 48 hours and increment the day value on that field. If it has there's the sneeze I promised you earlier in the show. On that field, if it has not been updated on a business day. That's going to get a little interesting. You can then use your report to check for field values greater than 2 in that field. It doesn't have to go on a form to be used, just it does have to be on the table somewhere so the script can and report can reference it. For what it's worth, this is a bit of a customization for a single report. Make sure whomever is requesting this understands the development effort involved. It's not available out of box and will require updates, testing, seems to be a common theme these days, etc. in the future, adding cost to and time to this requirement. Be sure they are willing to fund it and accept the ongoing risks, costs. Okay. Perhaps someone else will jump in with a simpler solution, but I don't have one at this point. All right, we've got a few more minutes, winding down. Let's see what else is in the inbox. Robert is commenting again. Thank you very much. Patrick DiCarlo, it must be in response to the comment that I said this is not my community alone. Yes, I have over 200,000 points. That addiction has since been cured. I'm now spending an hour or less each day on the community. My doctor says I'm getting better. I do enjoy this. It is helpful for me from a ServiceNow standpoint to understand what what the themes are, what people are asking, bring that back to the business unit, particularly the platform business unit, and say, hey, I've heard this. This is a common request in the community. Obviously, the best way, if we're missing some functionality or looking for something that's not available in the platform, is to fill out an enhancement request. It comes from you directly. I can aggregate and summate, and sometimes I do send the BU messages with the reference to the community link and say, hey, this is something somebody's asking. I agree with it. This API isn't documented, or this field should behave this way, whatever it happens to be. Don't need it for a single score, but I think you need it for in real-time option heartbeat monitoring thing. Oh, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Let's find out. Reporting properties. Reports, properties. It might be under performance analytics. I could be wrong. Leave here. Is it live? No. Real time? No. I think it's under performance analytics, which is always fun to do in this search filter because you can just type YT and there it is. Breakdowns, elements, automated breakdowns. I think the properties are usually at the bottom. Admin console, jobs, job events, schedules, properties. Performance analytics, January. Real time, live. Nope. Oops. Don't want to bookmark that. Find dynamic. Nope. Let's check the docs. That's the next best thing. Okay, dashboard, live updates. I know Craig covered this somewhere. Properties for list v3. Enables real-time record updates on list v3. Enable async v2. Location system properties list v3. Learn more. Enable v3 for related lists. Okay, that's related lists. That isn't. Properties for list v3 live. Determines whether live updates are enabled for v3 lists. When live updates are enabled, record updates appear in real time without the need for refresh the list manually. In Jakarta and after live tests, live lists are enabled by default. Okay. Interesting. I'll need to look that one up. This is bad. I'll trust you for now. Wink, wink, wink. Robert and I, we get along well on the community. I also found this regarding list v3 live updates. That. Put that in. Put that in. Love this community. Learn something new every day. How to get the HTML from a PA dashboard. And I said, do you have admin role available? Seems to be the trick because now it's marked correct. Thank you very much. Way to go, Patrick. 4K. I think when I started a couple of years ago, I mean, really seriously started into the community, I was around 2,800 points. It was low, and part of it was an ego thing that I said, hey, you know what? I've got more experience than this community shows. It's time to contribute. It's time to get the points up to where I think it should be. And it sort of did get addicted, and it took off and consumed my entire life for a while. And then I had a boss that says, you know, you do have another job. This is purely volunteer. I do this out of the goodness of my heart and because I have a green screen. Yeah, some of it is a bit of nerd fun. I have the investment in the studio. the hardware, the software, the background. Why not? I just sort of put two and two together and said, hey, people find this helpful? Why not? I'm going to be doing it anyway. I usually spend an hour or so on the community. This is a little slower progress because I start and have these dialogues with you guys, but I don't mind. This is a whole lot more fun and informative. It's definitely a reason to get me out of the bed at 5 a.m. in the morning, most days. I do this on days where I don't have a personal commitment or another professional commitment. If somebody schedules a very early morning or I'm on a business trip, obviously I can't do this. I do need to do this in my studio. But on the days that I can, where I am able, I don't have the flu like I did last month, things go well. Thanks for your response. I'm using the browser developer tools to debug the client scripts as definitely executed in the context of Service Portal. When paused in the client script, I can use the console to call gform. From tracing the set read-only call, I can see that the fields are only the fields. I can see the set of fields are only the fields. The call to gform from the client script can't set a variable read-only. Interesting. If gform is unaware of the variables, so a client script can work on fields, a catalog client script can work on variables, but neither can see the other. That is correct. I mean, that is the whole intent of having each one of those. Hi, Tim. You are essentially correct. Client scripts are for table fields. Catalog client scripts are for variables. They have no awareness of each other, although I thought catalog client scripts could also do the fields. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to leave that out for now. I'm not certain right now. Most client scripts do not. Anyway. So, I'm not sure that's an actual answer, just a confirmation. Insert multiple function is not showing help needed. Let's see what we got back here. Thanks for your response. This was the SOAP WSDL thing that we were just working on. Please find a link below which talks about SOAP insert multiple function. Now my issue has been resolved. I was making a mistake. In order to make insert multiple function available, I need to activate this plugin at publisher side. Ah, that makes sense. Makes complete sense that the publisher needs to activate it. It's something they publish as a service and you consume. Thanks for filling in the gaps. Wasn't aware that who was the publisher and who was the consumer on that one. Sometimes called a producer and consumer. Integrations, always a lot of fun. All right, the discussion about the auto-completer. They wanted the magnifying glass to show all records. I said, wait a minute, why do we want to do that if you're just going to click it? Thanks for your quick reply. I'm with you. But it is a need out of the business. The idea behind is to create an interface with a third-party work reporting tool, and sometimes the commercial ways go in different direction than the technical way. Let's assume I have an incident for customer X, and the bill needs to be set to customer Y. So I need to choose the project of customer Y to report on. Since this is not usual behavior, we would like to keep the user experience as good as possible, and the project suggestion should prefer projects of the assigned company, the incident record. But anyway, in some special combinations, there's a need to search company. Hopefully it's clear. If it were me, I would throw in some sort of override checkbox. Hi, Simon. Thanks for the clarification. If it were me, I would keep the filter on by default and use a separate field as a true, false to override the filter. You will need to, excuse me, create an advanced reference qualifier to check the value of your checkbox and recognize whether it should skip the filter or not. I am going to create a link to advanced reference qualifier. We are getting down to the end of the show today. A little bit over time, but that's okay. I'm not on any hard schedule this morning. Well, I am for a lot of other things, but I do have a little wiggle room in here. Reference qualifier, simple, dynamic, advanced. There we are. You're going to need to do some scripting to do that. This will require a bit of scripting using a script include. Hopefully that isn't an issue. Let the requirement requester this is a customization, here we go again, that needs to be built, maintained, and tested going forward. I get it. You know, you want to make a filter so people don't shoot themselves in their foot, but you also want to make it flexible so that they can go outside of those bounds when you need to. Boarding in 10 minutes, Robert. Woo-woo, everyone's going to school on the Tomasi train. Hey. The learning is going both ways today. It's been an incredible hour. Even the chat room's getting into it. For us longtime ServiceNow guys, we should be giving back to the community so developers can make right choice when it comes to modeling and adding new features to the platform. I agree. Definitely get your voice in there. There are some wonderful, wonderful discussions as we start to build out the Customer Success Center around best practices, gaps in the platform, encouraging best practice behaviors, that kind of thing. That we're really gathering some steam. I really look forward to the launch of the Customer Success Center at Knowledge. Great content being built by yours truly and some of my colleagues in the organization. This role that I've got right now was purposely created last fall for this project. Okay, this is huge. This is like John Donahoe's #1 thing is customer success. Setting variables read-only from a client script. Tim Brody comes back. I'm going to read this one, and I think this is going to be it for today. Yes, our script works native in CMS, but not in Service Portal. We have complex implementation that controls whether variables are read-only, driven by scratchpad attributes on the variables. I've seen set variables read-only mentioned before in the community. I've tried using this in an SC rec item catalog. SC rec item client script and catalog client script. In neither context is the function available in G-form. I am not familiar with set variables read-only. I'm using the form widget. Okay. And I said that was it, so I must... All right, one more. Let's see what's happening here. This one seems to have had a response already. Just one? Two? How far has this conversation gone? You know what? I'm not going to tie into that one right now. I'm going to sign off with you. It has been a wonderful day. It has been a terrific learning opportunity. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Don't forget, Knowledge 17, May 7th through 10th. CreatorCon Challenge ends February 15th. Get your registration in there. And until hopefully tomorrow, we'll see how it goes. I will talk to you then. Don't forget, until then, if you learn something, share it and help someone else. Take care. Bye.